So thanks to GlassesUSA.com for sponsoring this video. Today's video is a Q&A all about YouTube. I had asked you guys what your questions are over on our private group, which is on Telegram. You guys submitted a bunch of questions. There was actually more not pertaining to YouTube. I may answer those in a further video in the future. But for now, all these questions are about YouTube, kind of my experience, personal questions about YouTube, some technical questions, and my viewpoint sort of as a Christian Mennonite YouTuber. Before we get into it, I want to talk about our sponsor, GlassesUSA.com. And I know I'm not usually seen in glasses, and these make me look like a school teacher you wouldn't want to mess with. I actually really like these. These are blue light blocking. I'm going to talk about them more a little bit later. So I actually personally don't need eyeglasses, which I'm super blessed with good eyesight so far anyway. But I know a lot of people do need to wear eyeglasses, contacts. And GlassesUSA.com is a great place for that, to find like good quality eyewear at an affordable price. So they don't only just offer eyeglasses, like I'm wearing blue light blocking glasses. They also have a huge variety of sunglasses as well. They are cutting out the middleman and going all online, and by doing this they can reduce the price of glasses by up to 70% what you would pay in retail stores. So you can shop for your prescription glasses, sunglasses, the combination of both. Online you can stay at home and you're getting them at much better prices. So GlassesUSA.com, you'll find the same quality you'll find at retail stores, like I said, and you'll find like over 9,000 options in frame. They have in-house brands like this one is a Muse brand, and they also have designer brands such as Ray-Bans, Oakley's, Gucci, that type of thing. These kind of make me look like I'm on the CIA. I really like the frame on these. However, you can get like different types of darkness in your sunglasses, and I had gotten like the darkest ones, which I don't really like as far as that, but as far as the frame goes, I really like these. I had also gotten another pair for Nolan, a little bit bigger, once again, darker sunglasses. Probably the only thing I would change since ordering these. And also, if you need prescriptions, you can get prescription sunglasses or you can get prescription eyeglasses. The eyeglasses, I really like how they look. I personally like the more rectangular lenses for my face. However, these are my favorite glasses. I'm still not quite sure if I like the look of them on me. They kind of like the round frame and my round face. Not sure if it quite complements each other, but they're my husband's favorite, and every time I put them on, he starts kind of flirting with me, so. So yeah, you can just put your prescription order in for your glasses, whether you want regular eyeglasses or whether you want sunglasses. And their price points are very affordable. You can get like a complete pair of eyeglasses or sunglasses starting at only $30. So GlassesUSA.com has a new collection of non-prescription glasses, which is the ones I'm wearing, with this blue light blocking lens. And these lenses block up to 95% of the harmful blue light. They're made from MR8, which is an ultra durable material that makes them much stronger than other lenses. When you use blue light blocking glasses when you're working on your computer or looking at your phone, it helps with a lot of things. It helps with your sleep, and I've noticed when I wear these, like if I'm looking at my phone in bed before I go to sleep or working, I get much sleepier much quicker. My mind isn't overstimulated and my brain isn't telling me that it's still daylight outside, and then I sleep better. That was the main reason I got them, but it's also supposed to help with eye strain, with headaches, because you tend to get headaches if you work on computers and stuff too much. And so because of this whole combination, it's going to help increase your productivity. I had them for quite a few weeks and I've been loving them. They stay up beside my bed and down by my computer. So yeah, I'm gonna have links in the description where you can get up to 65% off through that link. You get free shipping and returns and 100% money back guaranteed within 14 days if something comes up, like no questions asked. And then you get a 365-day warranty. So check them out. Links down below, up to 65% off. And thanks again to GlassesUSA.com for sponsoring this video. Alright, so let's jump into the Q&A about YouTube, all things YouTube. So what inspired you to start your YouTube channel, and why did you start it? Sorry about the background noise, by the way. My son's playing, and it's great, but in case you hear dinging and banging, that's what it is. So why did I start my YouTube channel? Now, I have, ever since I can remember, probably a young teenager, my brother had gifted me with a camcorder, and he wasn't using it anymore. It was his old one, and I started like being the annoying friend that like shoved this camcorder into all my friends' faces and was like super annoying. So if you're one of those friends, I'm sorry, but if you ever want to come over and watch funny old clips of when we were 13 and 14, you're sure welcome to. But I was into photos even before then. There was just something in me that loved to document life. document memories. I just wanted something tangible to remember moments by, and it's just been in me almost ever since I can remember. Back to the question why I decided to start a YouTube channel. I'm not sure if I can really put a finger onto it. I kept thinking about it. I really was intrigued by vlog style, and at that time we were really interested in like RV makeovers and thought it was so neat to watch the whole process. Anyway, so the thought crossed my mind, I'd like to like document this and share it on a YouTube platform. And we were going to Paris that year, and I wanted to document that for family and friends. I was laying in bed, and I just remember also feeling like this was something that could be bigger. Maybe it was just something that God was telling me to do, but yet from my traditional upbringing, it just seemed so contradictory. And so to start a YouTube channel, in some ways it kind of conflicted with my upbringing in a sense, like, is this really something God could work through? But yeah, I felt like there was a place for good, wholesome content, sharing a simple life with people. It was just all these jumbled thoughts. I felt like I should do it, but yeah, I was petrified. I knew I loved documenting life, but I wasn't quite sure if I should take it to a YouTube platform. I just couldn't quite get it out of my mind. I talked to my husband, and he was on board with it. So eventually I jumped and did it, but I was terrified of having so many people watch. At first, of course, it was not that many people, but I remember when I first hit 1,000 subscribers, I was just panicking. To me, it was like 1,000 people are watching my videos, and I was just terrified. I'm like, yeah, it freaked me out. It took me a while to get used to it. But anyway, I hope that answered the question. It was kind of a passion mixed with feeling like I should do it, also wanting to share some things with family. And I didn't really think it would get as big as it did, honestly. So I've been blown away with that. And here I am today, going on 3 years later. How did you increase your subscribers when first beginning a channel? So pretty much when you decide to do a YouTube channel, you have to be committed, and you just have to be patient. If you want to build a subscriber base, it's definitely not going to happen overnight. For me, it did grow more quickly than I ever expected. One of the first pushes I got was from Mennonite Youtuber. She mentioned my channel, and I got a few hundred subscribers, and that was just huge. And I remember I got closer to 1,000 because of her shout out, so thanks Lynette. And then I made the video, My Mother-in-Law is Coming, or Clean With Me mother-in-law version. And that was a real hit. That YouTube kind of took that and made it go viral. And not viral, but for me it was viral, over 100,000 views. I got a lot of subscribers through that, and that kind of built. So it's kind of hit and miss. It takes, you just kind of plug along and do your thing, and maybe it'll grow, maybe it won't. You just have to be patient. Someone else asked, how has your channel grown in relation to what you expected? More quickly, more slowly? Did you set growth goals? It definitely grew more quickly than I expected. I did not really have growth goals. I just knew in the back of my mind I would like to have it large enough that I could maybe earn some income from it, because YouTube takes a lot of time. Yet at the same time, I didn't want it to be huge because it terrified me. So I was just kind of like letting it do whatever. I'm just like, I'll upload videos. If it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I didn't obsess with like all the analytics and that type of thing. A lot of people will do that. I just decided not to. If it's meant to grow, it will grow. If not, it won't. How did your family and friends respond to your channel? Were they positive about it before you began and after? And did you gain friends through this channel? This is kind of a tricky question. My mom was definitely not 100% excited about it. I will say that. And she had legit reasons, just kind of the safety of our family. What's it going to do for Zander? Like, is it good to have him in a public eye like that? Yes, you.
No way.
And I completely understood. And it was sort of also this kind of older traditional mindset that this is something completely out of the box of things Mennonites normally do, and there's a lot more now on YouTube than when I had started. But yeah, as far as friends, I sometimes can read into things. I'm not sure if I'm good at reading into things or sensing things, or if I'm oversensitive and sense things that aren't there. But there was definitely friends that I sensed maybe some opposition in it. They never really said it, or possibly, I don't really know how to explain it. And it's been something that I've been really dealing with. I don't like the stigma of being a YouTuber when I'm with friends. And I used to be able to take my camera with me wherever I went to like just take pictures. I was always the camera person. Everyone would rely on me to get pictures of whatever event and send it to all of them. And I would always take my camera, but now when I take my camera, they're immediately like, oh, we're not getting on YouTube, are we? And that type of thing, and that annoys me. Family has done this as well, and I finally just said, look, I always ask people, like if we're in a personal thing, if they mind if it's like put on YouTube. But I rarely ever document anything except our own family and a few other people that I know. Like my one good friend has a YouTube channel as well, so I know she doesn't mind. So there's people that don't mind at all. I'll ask them beforehand if it's something that they could be in. But I tried to edit it in a way that people are very often not in. It's just about our family. I want to respect them. I want to respect their privacy. I know YouTube is a platform a lot of people don't prefer to be on. And I try to respect that. And so at first, when I first started and my channel was growing, people would like make these wry comments every time I got around them and thought they were pretty funny, and I just didn't really find them amusing. Just random comments, but people are getting used to it now. That has changed. So yeah, just kind of being honest there. That was probably the hardest part, is just, if I could have my wish, I would have a YouTube channel and no friends and family would know that I have it. I want to keep my YouTube life away from like my friend life, and it can be kind of difficult because sometimes you know your friends are watching your videos, and yeah, but it's okay. It's much better now than it once was. All right, next question. I'd like to know how many hours a week you spend on YouTube and how you balance that with life. This has been a pretty hard thing, the whole thing with balancing life. Someone else asked that. Hours I spend, it really varies. At first, it was just terribly many hours, and it all depends what type of video I'm shooting. Like my Alaska videos, anytime it's like a travel related video, I like to be a lot more creative and put more time into it. And those can take me, I have never actually timed it, but I'm just guessing that I put at least 20 plus hours into a video. And that's not taking the videos, that's just editing, including like making thumbnails, uploading titles, and all that type of thing. It's very time consuming. You have to have a passion for it to enjoy it. And the problem is when you start being consistent on a YouTube platform like this, where you're taking what was your passion and suddenly making it a priority, suddenly it becomes work. And while I still love it and it's still my passion, it's starting to get a little more blurred in those lines, and it's a lot of work. And so for those of you that it can get a little annoying to see sponsorships, I personally am so used to it, and I appreciate it when other people can have sponsorships. But if you're just tired of it, just scroll ahead a little bit and you're fine. But that's what helps YouTubers actually be able to stay up and running, because equipment is expensive, just everything. There's so many costs, which I'll show here later as well. As far as balancing YouTube with normal life, I think there's another question coming up later that I'll dive into that more. How do you deal with negative comments, and does that affect what you put out there? Negative comments are tough. You just have to kind of grow thick skin, laugh them off. Some of them actually crack me up. Like I can tell someone's just having a bad day and I just put it off, hey, they're being a bad day. But there's some people that can be really, really mean, and it's just life online, and people feel brave in their little room somewhere typing, and they'd say things that they never say to a person's face. There's just a few types of comments that really bug me, but most I just like, it's okay. If someone judges my dirty house, I'm fine with that. Like, fine, if you're perfect with your house, it's okay. It's what I do on this channel. I show real life. If it's something that I feel shouldn't be on my channel, I'll just delete it and I won't even respond. But if it's like a criticism, like something that I feel is beneficial, or even if it's just a nasty comment that doesn't really hurt anyone, I'll leave it up. Like I'm not trying to have everyone give these glowing comments, but if it's like a really nasty, mean comment, I will delete it. I do have blockers on comments, like you can block certain words, so there's different swear words and stuff. If it's like sexual type whatever, I try to have all the blocked words so that those comments never show up, and in case I happen to miss them, because I don't always get to all the comments. One of the downsides with the channel growing and time, so yeah. Probably the most asked question is, where do you get the music for your vlogs? Different people were saying they find it hard to find faith-based music, or just, you know, good quality, relaxing music, sort of your nice little tunes. So first off, I pay for my music. I'm the type of person that if I'm going to do something, I want to do it right. And now that I'm getting some income from YouTube, I can actually compensate and pay for subscriptions. So right now I'm actually part of 3 different websites. I first started with Epidemic Sound. I really like them. They have just a lot of just your background music. They also have songs, but that's kind of where I started, just for the background music. You sign up, it's like $15 a month, or like $150 a year. And then you can have unlimited music, and it immediately gets cleared on your YouTube channel, so you don't get YouTube strikes for copyright. I'll try to have them linked below. The second one that I subscribe to later is called Music Bed, and the reason I did is there was some artists that I really liked. One being JJ Heller. She has so many nice songs about family and faith, and just kind of capturing the little joys of life. So I loved her music, and she had a lot of her songs on there. And then there was other Christian songs I could use on there as well. So I signed up for them as well. I forget how much they cost. I think it's $150 to $200 a year. So it does get expensive, but I just love having songs that fit the video, because I feel like that's part of the inspiration and adds to the video, adds to the moment. If I'm trying to convey a message or a feeling, I can sometimes spend way too much time looking for the right song. And then just recently I subscribed to another one. I can't believe I'm actually paying for 3 different websites. Maybe I'm a little, I know I'm spending too much, but the third one is called Artlist, and they have a really different also variety of music that I really like. And their rights also include commercial rights. So I was making some videos for businesses, and you need to purchase commercial rights for those videos. And so with Artlist, it was a cheaper subscription. I think it was also $200 a year. And then you immediately got commercial rights, whereas most other places will charge you about $200 per song for the right to have it in a commercial video. By commercial, I mean like I make a promo video for a business. Whew! Sorry, I'm just jabbering. Do you get to choose which ads show on your channel? And the answer is no. There is a little selection where I can say I don't want this type of ad, and I think I went through and selected that, like political ads. It's been a while since I've done it, but there was like a whole box of options of things that I didn't stand to that I could check off that wouldn't come up. But it was kind of limited. Obviously, it's not a Christian platform. Ads that you see are related to what you search for. I remember there was someone that had commented and said, you know, there was ads showing up. I think it was for jewelry, makeup. I forget what it was. It was something that I really don't do on this channel. And they were kind of chastising me, and I'm like, well, actually, the ads that you see on your video are reflecting to what you watch. Not always. Sometimes they'll throw on new ones. But for the most part, when you're online, they are putting cookies into your browser, and they're seeing what you search for, what you're interested in, and then those are the videos that they'll put onto my channel for you to view, because they're trying to get you to buy whatever you're interested in. So like if I'm suddenly looking at a whole bunch of camera backpacks, I suddenly start seeing camera backpack ads in videos. Do I follow other YouTube videos for inspiration? Yes, I do. There's a couple different creators that I do very much enjoy watching, kind of get inspiration for my own videos. I'm not going to mention them here because I kind of jump all over the place, but I do like watching a few travel vlogs, family vlogs, some people that I really think have a good creative eye. I'm curious how and where you store videos and photos. Okay, so I used to store them on little external hard drives that you buy. I still use them some, but over the years you start getting so much footage and videos with making videos every week, plus doing personal family projects as well. And so when I recently got my new computer set up, they make this external hard drive thing. It's just like these little sleeves that go in. You back up all your stuff into that compartment, and then it's going to back up all your photos to a second drive, so that if one goes bad, you can recover from the other one, and it somehow spreads it out all across the, I don't know quite how it works, but it's supposed to be one of the most secure ways to back up all your photos and videos. I cannot use an online service. I have way too much, and my internet is so slow. One of these videos right now is taking me about 2 days and 2 nights to upload. It's just insane. I did purchase Starlink, so whenever they get to this area, which is supposed to be by the end of the year, hopefully I will have faster internet. All right, the next one has to do, once again, with managing time. It says, do you have marriage talks about work hours to set official boundaries for accountability before it starts to consume you? Do you read all the comments, or you share the load with Nolan? How involved is he behind the scenes? Obviously, it's a hobby you enjoy, but I often wonder if it pays what all the hours, equipment you put in deserve. And I appreciate that. Thank you. A lot of people don't realize that. I hope censorship ethics don't push you or some of us out, and that there will be another creative outlet for your beautiful skills. And I appreciate that. Thank you. Someone else asked, how do you set boundaries to protect your personal and family life? Someone else asked, how do you balance your faith relationship with God and all you have going on? I work a 9 to 5. I have a YouTube channel too, a house to run, no children yet, sadly. Prayers welcome. And I'm sorry for that. I understand a little bit, but thankfully I have 1 child. But 2 wild pups we adore, and try my best to keep active in church and private, devotional Bible time, etc. But it can be a struggle. This is a struggle. I completely understand. And it's constant work for us, and we're still trying to get better at this. And this past year, I've been trying really, really hard to eliminate things in my life that are unnecessary. So I tend to be the type of person, and if I get excited about something, I'll just jump into it and dive into it, and suddenly I have all these irons in the fire, and I'm just going ballistic under stress. So I'm trying really hard, with my husband's help, not to get into so much stuff, and I'm trying to eliminate different things, focusing on the core things that truly, like YouTube, I really enjoy interacting with you all, the people I've gotten to meet, the creative outlet that it gives me, and it's a passion I don't want to give up for a while. But there's other things that, while I enjoy them, they're just taking time. I'm like, can I just weed this out? Like, what can I get rid of to have less stress, less work? So I've been trying to do that, and that's not easy as it sounds. As far as we talked to Nolan, and I recently told him, look, I really want to set boundaries where I stop working after supper. Yes, I might do some housework and whatever, but I really do think, you know, it just reminds me of how quickly time flies. My son is 4 already. It just seems like yesterday that he was a little baby. He's gonna be a teenager before I know what happened, and I wanna make sure that I have the relationship with him to hold his heart through the years. And to do that, I think you need to spend time with them and have a relationship with them. And I tend to be so goal focused or driven, and I have to get this done, have to get that done, and then I multitask. And I think we women do this a lot. We multitask, we take care of our children while we work, and we juggle it all. We try to take care of their emotional needs, their love needs. We might sit down and play with them for a couple minutes. And I find it really hard to just sit down and play with him for an hour or half an hour. And I'm trying to be more that way. I also want to make sure that my prayer life, my devotional life is where it's supposed to be, and I feel it still is not where it's supposed to be. I need to be more consistent in that. I need to get more scheduled in my life. I'm so bad at schedules, and I find if I get up really early in the morning, my brain just does not function to work. Like, I can have my devotions and I enjoy the quiet time, but by the time Zander ever gets up anyway, I just still am not in the working mode. And then I start getting into the work mode around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and then I want to work all night. I'm a night owl, and I hate that because that's when I want to shut down and be with my family. So it's such a struggle. As far as church and church activities and all that, we've been really trying this past year to make that a priority as well. We still have some growing to do in that. I have been really trying to prioritize that as far as, you know, if someone is sick or had a baby, or, you know, our church has like this ladies chat where we get together and do meals and that type of thing. And I don't always contribute every time, but I'm trying to do more than I used to. And because, you know, people have helped me out when I was sick, and it was such a blessing, and I want to be there for other people. When you serve other people, it's such a, now I'm beginning to sound like I'm tooting my own horn because I'm very far from serving like I want to. I have so much growth to do in this, but this is something I've been focusing on this year, is to just try to remember to think about others' needs and not just all the busyness you have going on in your own life. And so I've been trying to do that. There's been different things going on with, yeah, different friends and family or whatever, and I'm trying to figure out what I can do. I'm not naturally the type of person that immediately recognizes a need and thinks, man, I could bless them in this way. Like, I have to really struggle to come up with something meaningful, and that's something I'm really trying to work on. So yeah, I guess maybe that's not so much church activities, but I'm thinking more church family. Like, and that's what I love about our church community, is there's so much more that goes on than just going to church. You have a church family, and you do things for each other, and you help out with like school projects and church projects and that type of thing. But then there's also the time that comes where you have so much going, you have all these church activities, you have all these extracurricular activities, and I'm the type of person, if I have too much going in a week, I just shut down, I become extremely grumpy and very moody, and I lash out quickly. I can't keep my composure just because you're constantly going and you have no rest time at home to just live a normal scheduled life. And I tend to be a homebody, and so that really affects me. So I do think you have to know your limits. My tendency is to want to stay home more and not do as much, so I try to push myself out. But yet at the same time, if your tendency is to do too much for other people and church activities, you need to start cutting things out so you can be home more. And there is a balance there. There's sometimes we're just too busy, and I feel like every single thing is a good thing that I need to do. But I think cutting out sometimes, just saying no, You're protecting yourself, you're protecting your family in a way because you need family time at home. Like, you need that connection at home. You can't just be so busy running all over the creation that you never have. Yeah, I'm so sidetracked. Sorry, guys. Anyway, so yes, between work, church activities, home life, there's just so much to balance, and I think it's just a continual sitting down and talking about it, refocusing, trying to figure out your life as time. I don't think you'll ever have quite, this is what we do, and this is going to work for the next 10 years, because your life shifts, it changes, you're responsible for different things, whether it's in church or whether it's at home. And so yes, Nolan and I do talk about it. We don't have like a set time. Every now and then we will sit down and say, look, what can we do to change this up? You know, to think ahead, what's going to be best for Zander and for us, for our church, and for whatever. What is your thought process behind what you choose to post of Zander? I was waiting for him to say, me? Yes, you. He always does that. Like, would he be okay with this when he's a teenager? And if his future friends watch things about him when he was little, do you feel YouTube is a short-term income or a long-term reliable income? So those are kind of two questions. Someone else also asked, I'm interested in starting a YouTube channel. I'm not sure where, how to begin. Is it enough of an income to be able to become a stay-at-home mom and wife? So those kind of go together a little bit. Let me first answer the question about what we choose to post. So I've kind of struggled with this as well. I try to never post anything that I feel embarrasses him, puts him in a compromising situation that future children could make fun of him. I try to make sure, like, if he's having a temper tantrum or a fit or crying, I most always never post that. There's just been a few times I've shown a little bit of tears. But for the most part, I want to keep all that out. And I know it's not always honest, but I just don't think it's right to, like, when your child is vulnerable or not happy or whatever, that you suddenly, you document that for the world to see. Like, when they grow up, obviously, that's not a kind thing to do. I wouldn't want that myself. Also, I try not to post things where he's acting really goofy sometimes. Like certain where he's kind of, you know, the show-off mode. If it's too extreme or whatever. He doesn't do that terribly much. I mean, he does now that he's 4, just with life in general. He does do that, obviously, as all kids do. But if he does something really extreme, I just don't bother. Like, I don't try to always ignore that in normal life and also in video life. And he's pretty used to cameras. Like, I have been videoing him since he's a baby, way before I've ever had a YouTube channel. So it's something that I kind of want a part of our life, where it's not like a lot of children that aren't used to cameras. As soon as one gets pointed in their direction, they start acting weird. And so he is kind of used to it for the most part, and I want it to remain that way. And I also, when I video, I try to be present in the moment. So sometimes the videos are shaky. I'll be holding the camera down here, just checking on it now and then to make sure he's in frame. Or with the phone. Phones are easier. GoPros are the easiest. You just kind of point and go. And obviously other times I'm trying to make sure the video is a nice steady shot, but if it's really like a moment where we're all enjoying, I just try to quickly set up a camera, or, you know, hold it more down where I'm like interacting with him face to face, and the camera's more, I'm not like completely into the camera, if you know what I'm talking about. Another thing, this is a little bit off subject, but another thing that I have kind of committed to, and we don't always hold to this 100%, but I'd say like 85–90% of the time, he never watches anything that he's on. So a lot of these videos he never actually gets to see. And the reason of this being, I don't want him to think he's something he's not, and I don't want him to think he's cool and that he's the center of our universe, because he's not. Although he is kind of like, our children kind of, they're the world to us. But I don't want him to grow up thinking he's better than anyone else. And that's the thing that worries me a little bit about when he starts going to school. So if it ever gets to a point where other children either bully him or maybe treat him like he's someone really special and not just a normal kid, I might actually stop, because I never want him to feel like he's more special or more important than someone else because he's on YouTube. Like, we did let him see the Alaska vlogs, but so often I just prefer he doesn't see all that, because a lot of those videos you do end up kind of filming your children doing things, because Nolan and I don't want to be filmed all the time. And it's just the memories. Like, I will want these memories when I'm 50 looking back. I want to be able to see him when he's 3 and when he's 4. And so, yeah, so those are for our memories for the future. But right now, if he's in that stage of life that the film is, we try not to let him see too much of that. and then we'll look back now when he was a baby, because that was a different phase of his life, and he kind of disconnects himself from that. He knows it's him, but it's not the stage we're in right now. So, you know, when he's 7 or 8, we'll probably watch videos of when he's 4 and 5. As far as safety issues, that is something that worries me the most about a YouTube channel. Is it does put you in a little bit more. I mean, obviously you're in a public spotlight. I'm not too worried about it, but sometimes you can get someone that wants to do you harm, or they'll try really hard to figure out where you live. I try to be careful to block all our information, have it off, you know, not have my personal cell phone, not have our address, try to block our license plates, things like that. But if people would really want to find us, I'm sure they could. Yeah, it's one of those things that worries me a little bit, but I just trust that, yeah, God will take care of us. If this is what He wants us to do, things will work out however He wills. But I do want to make sure I'm very careful with safety issues as much as I can. So the second part of the question was, does it make enough income to be able to become a stay-at-home mom and wife? And then another question that goes along with that is, with everything you do, how do you organize your different businesses, and how many do you have to sell things that are not commercial items? Does YouTube make you enough money to be a stay-at-home mom comfortably? Someone else had asked about businesses, because I've mentioned that before. So when I was first married, I did a lot of like buying and selling off of Craigslist and eBay, but just zoning in on the main ones that we do right now. So we have an Amazon business. It's the randomest thing. We kind of got into it. My brother sells on Amazon as well, but you basically search for an item. It could be the most obscure, weird item that there could be a need for on Amazon, and it takes a while to find that. That's the hardest part. And then you get these products manufactured somewhere, shipped to you, and then you ship them into Amazon warehouse, and then they take care of it from there on out. So it's kind of a passive income. You just have to kind of keep track of your inventory levels, and then anytime you need to stock more or reorder more, you just send them in, and then Amazon takes care of all the orders and returns. So we are doing that. It's a very small amount of income. We sell like replacement shoulder straps, leather shoulder straps for like messenger bags, totes, laptop bags, and that type of thing. We sell 3 different colors: black, kind of like a tan, and a dark brown. And they're genuine cowhide leather. And they're just replacement straps for ones that go out. It's just like an obscure item, but we sell, you know, a few every day. Before COVID, it was like at 7 a day, or something like that. It had been really working up, but now since COVID happened, it really dropped off back down to 1 to 2, maybe 4 a day. The profit margins are pretty small, but it's enough to, we don't put that much work into it, and it's kind of a steady little side thing. That doesn't take too much time. The second main thing I do, I had mentioned it previously, I have a friend that raises puppies. He's licensed, he's USDA certified, he does really well with his dogs, and he wanted me to help with my photography and video work to help find homes for his puppies. And so that has been really fun, and we've helped him and a few others that wanted me to do the same for them. And so we are able to either, you know, just take pictures of the puppies, and he keeps them for a while, or sometimes we actually get to bring a whole litter here and take care of them for a while. That's been a lot of fun. And so basically what that involves is just talking to a lot of people, health guarantees, and, you know, if the puppy gets sick, we stand behind it, we help with vet bills. We want to make sure everything is up to speed and kosher, that the puppy transitions smoothly and is well taken care of, that type of thing. So there's a lot of messaging and talking to people that call whenever there's puppies available, which sometimes you'll go for quite a while without any, and the next times you'll have, you know, a few weeks where you're trying to sell puppies. So I'm sure that comment will bring some people hating and saying I'm a puppy mill, which we're not. And these pups are very well taken care of, and we really, really enjoy it. Zander loves it, and then he gets to have puppies around here. So that has been a really fun business that we started last year, and that's probably one that takes up second most amount of time to my YouTube channel, because I'm suddenly taking extra pictures of puppies and also a video with Zander playing with them, and then I have to edit all that. In addition to my video, I edit every week for YouTube. So obviously some weeks I'm not doing any of that, but then the weeks that I am, it just makes me extra busy. And then suddenly you're getting bombarded with calls and emails and messages and all these people you have to contact. So that's when things start getting a little bit crazy. And obviously the third one would be YouTube. And this is the one that I feel like we're kind of in more for the long haul, in a sense. But if it ever gets to be too much, like if we have more children and I'm just too busy and too overwhelmed, I will stop. And someone asked, is it reliable? Can it make enough money for a stay-at-home mom? And it's so tricky. Like, I wouldn't rely on just YouTube because it's so up and down. Like, I am only now at approximately, what am I, 44,000 subscribers. If I would simply rely on YouTube AdSense, I'd probably be making about minimum wage for the amount of time I put into it. Maybe a little bit more. It kind of depends because my time fluctuates so much. By the time you account everything I'm paying for the music, for my equipment, just for software programs, just everything. There's a lot of expense that can go into it, especially when you dive into it more deeply. Like, tend to be more techie. So once that's all deducted and you're just relying on YouTube AdSense, you're pretty much getting paid a minimum wage. And by minimum, I mean probably anywhere from $7, maybe $12 an hour. That's just a rough guess. I tried to calculate that up a little bit. So, and that doesn't account for the many years it takes for you to get to this size. For me, it took like 3 years, and it was only like maybe a year in or half a year in that I started. Like, I remember the first time I got a paycheck, I'm like, man, this is crazy, and I don't even know what it was. It probably wasn't even that much, like a few dollars or something. Anyway, but it just feels good to be making money off of something you enjoy. However, if you can get into sponsorships, that's where you get paid probably most of your money. And then once you can do that consistently, you could definitely be a stay-at-home mom. But the problem is it's so unreliable. You see YouTube channels really take off and then they just fall away and then they don't have any more views. And I expect that to happen here as well. And I'm fine with that. It's just kind of part of the whole YouTube thing. And it's very taxing. It's can be very mentally taxing as well. You have to really enjoy it to consider doing it as a full-time stay-at-home mom. I'm blessed. Nolan is our sole provider, so I can just dabble around in whatever I feel like, and if it makes money, great. If not, then it's not a big deal. So that's where I am quite fortunate in this space. I'm not relying on YouTube income, but it is very nice to have as an extra sideline. And that's the other thing with sponsorships. I do very much enjoy working with companies. I try to always make sure that I'm behind the company I'm doing a sponsorship with, that it's something that aligns with my values, that I believe in the product, because it can be tempting. Sometimes, it can be tempting to try to shout out a company that you actually don't even like because there's money at the other end of it. I get so many emails trying to get me to recommend products, and I probably only do, I don't even know, 1%, if even that, of the emails I get for sponsorships or whatever, or pursue 1% of them. Just so you all know that when I do a sponsorship, it means a lot to me because it helps me support this channel much better, helps, support my little family, and also it's a company that I like or can definitely recommend. One other question, someone was like, I don't know how to start a YouTube channel. I really want it to be simple. I don't know how to edit or do anything else. I want to determine interest prior to learning all that. I'm not really the place to go for that. There's so much information on YouTube. Just type it in, how to start a YouTube channel. I'm thinking I missed a couple questions here. I thought I had them all. Someone had asked what software I use. I use DaVinci Resolve. I actually have a video that I had made about how I edit my videos. That was a while back. You can kind of get the gist of DaVinci Resolve. It's a pretty, it's what professionals use. So if you're kind of new to the whole editing thing, it might be better to start with a more simple one. Do you ever think of quitting your YouTube channel? I do. If I'm getting too stressed, if it's starting to take my joy, sometimes I'm like, man, should I just keep going? Shouldn't I? Whatever. But so far, it's something that I feel like I'm still supposed to do. So I guess we'll just kind of take it one day at a time, see how it all goes. And someone had asked about friends. I forgot to answer this. Have I made any friends from the YouTube channel? And the answer is yes. I've made friends locally that I met in person. I've made friends through email, friends in other countries. And I feel bad for some of those. Like, I'm kind of bad at getting back to emails because suddenly I'm getting a lot from a lot of different people all over, and I'm starting to think about trying to have someone help me reply to emails and questions. That way I have more time with family and to make videos, because a lot of the questions that come in through my emails are good and I want to answer them thoroughly. But sometimes I start running out of time. It's kind of a balance. I'm trying to figure out how to do it all, but I have been really enjoying YouTube for the most part, and I hope these answered your questions, and I'm sorry this ended up being so long. But yeah, so once again, thanks to GlassesUSA.com for sponsoring the video, and there's links in the description. to their website where you can get up to 65% off of glasses. So make sure to go check them out. Whew, that was a lot of questions. Why do I chatter so much? You want to say hi to everybody?
Hi, everybody.
Uh-huh.
You.
Xander, what was your favorite part about Alaska?
Being in the float plane.
In the float plane? That was fun, wasn't it? What else?
Playing at the bouncy house.
Oh, that was fun. The bouncy house.
Yeah, so fun. Like going down that big slide.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
Do you like mom's glasses?
Yeah.
Or do they make me look kind of goofy?
They look like a skunk.
They look like a skunk. How does mom look like a skunk?
With glasses on.